are the monitors. This tells me about my liquid system when I'm applying. This tells me the downforce margin. And once we get going, this will be population down here. I've turned the water system off because I'm done with it for now. And this is the electric feed for the seed boxes. This is controlling GPS, so you can make auto track work. Got a video camera in the back if you want it. Going down the road is great. This is a section control button, and it turns so when I'm crossing at the ends, if I'm crossing at an angle, it knows where I'm at based on the GPS, and it'll shut this row off as it crosses. And as you cross, it just kind of walks like a piano set of keys. And you'll see underneath here, it'll dot, 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 dot if you're at an angle to it. So it's saving cost of seed. And with the liquid system, it shuts it off at the same time. So in theory, it's economic and and the right thing to do environmentally.
What's your population you're shooting for?
I'm doing 145,000 on these beans. It's a little bit more than what they say you can get by with 140. We both agreed we're going to do 145. I've got another more skeptical farm. I'll kick it up another 5,000 on. This will tell us the spacing, the percentage, singulation. This will tell us our down pressure once we get going. That'll tell us our population. This is all with the wet system. Then you can just scroll through here. These are the different populations I have set up. You could do a prescription seeding. I haven't done any of those yet.
And variable throughout the field?
Yeah. And they tend to do that on the soil types. A lot from what I understand, the soybeans you actually tend to plant thicker on the lighter soils, and on your better soils you leave them the less population. This is the hydraulics, how we've got them set up, gallons per minute, and then the time of each one of them. Counters on the machine. Fuel, we're using 3.3 gallons of diesel fuel an hour, so there goes $17 an hour. So at the end of the day, you've got, between this and that tractor, you've got $500 bill easily, maybe $1,000. So I think that's pretty much.
So how fast will you be running in the field?
Once I get laid out and everything, I'll run 6.5 to 7 miles an hour. You should be able to go 8 to 10. I would not plant 10 no matter what. I did plant just messing around when we first got the planter. I did run it up to 8.5. That's a little more than Bruce feels comfortable. I'm kind of old school. My old tractor, I plant corn at 5.5 to 6 miles an hour. And I plant beans about 6.2. So we've gained roughly a mile an hour, so 17%, somewhere in that range. So this is the inside of the cab. We're planting rows, GPS, hands-free guidance. This is your track settings. I've got 3 different tracks on the farm. We're currently running the east track, starting on the east side, working our way across. Those were all laid out post to post with the globe on a gator at the time, and it carries forward from the cloud into here. And this is the planter summary. You got one there, and you got another one here that I like better. This graph here shows the top down pressure, and basically we're keeping 100% contact each row unit. Vary maybe between 97 and 100 where you like to keep it. And then the excess is your margin, so it's extra pressure on the gauge wheels. It's able to read that with sensors on each row unit. So it's flipping electronically back up to here. This is the population down here. The high is 147,000, the low is 143,000, and row 20 is doing 145. And right there, that green line disappeared because I crossed the end rows, so it automatically shut off the seed delivery. Once again, that's the GPS driven and to the electronics. We're turning on the end rows right now. We'll get spun back around here and head back to the south. You can watch that green box at the bottom if you want. This right here will show you when the clutches turn back on to each row unit. So currently they're not lit up, nothing's coming out. We're still on the end rows. The planter's in the ground. In here in about 5 seconds, 10 seconds. Boom, it should turn green. There's your population. Your down pressure was already, it was reading, because it doesn't really, it's just taking a reading is all it's doing. That's one way of justifying buying some of this stuff. It saves cost of seed. You're not, in the old days you would be trickling maybe 2 to 8 feet out, depending on how slow you slow down. Now you can literally get 1 foot overlap, or you can have it shut off a foot. You know, it's really accurate.
And you're doing this without using the steering wheel?
Yeah, hands-free. This is RTK driven. We're reading off a satellite over at Galeville, Illinois, which is probably maybe 12 miles as crow flies. Or there's another one at Monticello, or another one at Cisco or B-Man, all on the top of the elevator, along with coordinating off of probably 13 satellites in the sky. It's basically the same thing that you use on the smartphones. It's basically the same kind of system. I mean, it can coordinate it. It's supposed to be sub, I think, 2-inch accuracy, 3-dimensional. So this says saying the singulation. This is soybeans. It's not that important, but it's just telling you it's very accurate, 99.7% accurate for singulation. The seed spacing, somebody really smart developed. So smart that the man that set up the planter couldn't even explain it to me. It is a formula. I don't know why. It's something to do with the deviation of space. I don't know why they just don't tell you your spacing is this, but they chose not to do it. The old planter did that. Kind of a common sense approach. One of the things that somebody fixed that could kind of be debatable with the newer computer system. So this is just different pages that you can run in here. You've got a wet system gauge. Then if I see a rock, I can hit this, it'll leave a flag, or a tile hole, I can leave a flag. If I stop and I change something, I can tap that, type a field note, it tells me what I've done there on that spot. If you've got a bad patch of weeds, maybe like a Canadian thistle, something that you can come back and get later, tap that. This is just tractor settings, showing you how everything's going, where all the information is at. I'll show you that in a minute. This is where it gets crazy. It's like, oh, really?
So what's the maturity on these?
They're a 3 and 3.5. So mid-group 3.
How full season will you go?
I've got 460 acres of a 4.0 that seed company wants me to raise for seed. I wanted a 3.9, and it's not that much later, so we're going to go and plant it. And then we'll hope we don't get a frost.
What's the earliest
For frost date?
Earliest maturity?
I got a 2.7, and when we leave here, I've got a 2.7 that I'm going to plant. That is about as early as I've ever planted. And the only reason for it is I'm going to plant it wheat. And it'll allow me to get those combined early in the times.
On the right hand side we have the ground that hasn't been planted. On the left hand side we have that that's been planted. It is a little wet in spaces, not too bad, and you can see if we dig down in there, I just saw soybean pop up there. There's one. I keep reburying it.